What it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you don't love the content, you can still do those things because you could always help a brother out, and I'd greatly appreciate that. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our great content. Make sure you comment because I love to have conversations in the comment section, and I will definitely reply to you because ball is life. Lastly, hang on towards the end of this video for some suggested videos that we know you will love. Stephen A. Smith chimes in on the LeBron ring culture statement. Now, we're not going to play the whole video again, and we have a small 4-part series. I think it's going to be 4 parts about people that, you know, have some say in the media discussing, you know, LeBron and what he's saying about this ring culture stuff. But essentially, in a nutshell, he's just making excuses for why it's okay to not win. And it's not okay to not win. Don't listen to him. You have to win. To be the greatest, you have to win. To be known as one of the greatest, as far as like the top echelon of guys, you have to win. Allen Iverson, great player. Love watching him play. Still like listening to him talk. Miss seeing him on the court. Great player. Top echelon? No. Charles Barkley, amazing player. Used to love Charles Barkley. I barely watched Charles, to be honest with you, and I never really watched him in his prime. I was too young. But there's YouTube. You get to watch highlights. 6'4", playing power forward, destroying and demolishing people is insane. Okay? But that was Charles Barkley in a nutshell. Great player. Great player. Top echelon? No. He also mentioned people like Dan Marino. No. Dan Marino is a elite passer. Elite. Has some of the, you know, people say he's the best thrower they've ever seen. But that doesn't matter when it comes to the top echelon of people. You have to win. Every quarterback that you could think of that's really seen as elite and great has won. He brought up Peyton Manning, but listen, Tom has 7 Super Bowl rings, man. Peyton only has 2. You can't compare the two as far as that's concerned. If you want to talk about stats and just ability, that's fine, but that's a different conversation. You want to be the greatest, you got to win those rings. You got to have the hardware, baby. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. Peyton has the advantage over a lot of players that have ever played. He has 2 Super Bowl rings. He's got the advantage. But he nowhere near has the advantage over Tom Brady. And that just is what it is. When we're talking about quarterbacks, okay, we're talking about quarterbacks. Football's tricky because you have quarterbacks and you have every other position. And to me, who the best player is in football, it should be 2 categories. Who's the best quarterback or some of the best quarterbacks, and then who are the best football players. And if you want to break it down even further, who are the best defensive players, who are the best, you know, offensive players. Break it down even further, who are the best players on the line on offense or defense. Like football has so many different, completely different positions that it's hard to say the best. And that's why a lot of times people will say who's the best athlete. It's another one. But either way, LeBron tried to murk the waters up because that's all this is. It's like politics. You murk it up, right? You're trying to murk it up, muddy the waters to get people off of their game. But on this channel, we hold the standard. The standard is the standard. It's not changing. You got to be better than Mike, Kareem, Kobe, Tim Duncan, Magic. You got to be better than guys like that. If you're not better than guys like that, if you don't win more than guys like that, then you're not in the conversation. I'm sorry. You're just not. So let's listen to what Stephen A. Smith said when he had to chime in.
You are beyond wrong, Wendy. You're not even close to being right on this one. Not. I'm sorry. No way in hell. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, you brought up LeBron and the rings. Okay, who's devalued LeBron? See, that's the BS that we have to stop letting him and his camp get away.
Lots of people have.
Once again, no. Excuse me. When we talk about the GOAT, because he's not in a lot of people's eyes. It's Michael Jordan. That is it. Everybody recognizes him as a 4-time champion. Everybody universally recognizes him as one of the top 3 players in the history of basketball. What the hell else do you want? A diaper and a bib? What do you want? Do you want us to feed you some applesauce or something? My God, what more can you do? Other than saying he's not the GOAT, he's number 2 or number 3 if you want to put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's resume in there. What else is there? There's nothing else to deny him. And everybody recognizes that. It's factually incorrect when they walk around acting like he's been devalued. It is not true. It is not true. Now, let's get to the point that you and I do agree about. If it didn't mean much or shouldn't mean much, well then, why were you so relieved to finally have one? Why did you depart Cleveland to go to Miami and join forces with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade to get one? Why did you depart from there to go back to Cleveland? Because LeBron only went back to Cleveland for one reason: to resurrect his reputation and his stature, because it wasn't that he departed from Cleveland, it's that he didn't deliver the chip when he departed. So he went back to erase a more than half-century curse on that area in professional sports because they hadn't captured what? A championship. So in other words, he understood it in departing for Cleveland to go to Miami. He understood it in departing from Miami to go back to Cleveland. He understood it when he arrived in Tinseltown with the Lakers, that stars, superstars who wore the purple and gold, he couldn't be the one person that didn't capture a championship. He had to get at least one. But now that you've got it, all of a sudden, you really don't understand why it's of so importance. Nonsense. He understands why.
Stephen A. Smith gives his take there. That's what we just listened to. And there's a couple things that I wrote down. First, I wrote down that he's being devalued. I actually do think LeBron's being devalued because I think people are tired of the nonsense. They're tired of the narratives that people like Stephen A. and Brian Windhorst have painted that are not necessarily 100% true. He said he's being devalued. He's not being devalued. I actually disagree with Stephen A. Smith on that. I do think LeBron's being devalued because people are paying attention to winning. When we talk about LeBron, even these guys, they never want to mention the losing. They only talk about the wins. You don't just win and never lose. Unless you're Mike, that's it. In the finals, at least. He's sitting up here talking about, there is a devalue of LeBron because he's 4-6 in the finals. And for the longest time, the media tried to ignore that. We also ignore the super team stuff. But now with YouTube and channels like myself, they're bringing that back. We're saying, hold on a second. You're missing the super teams. You're missing all these team ups. You're missing the reasons why he's doing some of these things, okay? The thought process behind why he's doing it. You're missing the antics in between that he's pulling off. And you're missing the fact that he's 4-6 in the finals. You're trying to put this standard of winning in front of us, but it's not a standard of winning. He has a losing record when it matters the most. When the stakes are the highest, he's the biggest loser outside of, Jerry West and a few other people. And I love Jerry West, but that's just the truth of it. You are not on the same level as the guys that won in the finals when the pressure was the highest. It's just not. So I disagree with him there. I will agree with him here where he says, LeBron James sitting up here again, bad-mouthing ring culture. All of a sudden, when you got one, you were relieved. Every time he got one, he was relieved. When he won one with the Lakers, he was like, give me my respect. What respect? I'm a Laker fan, and to be honest with you, that ring, it's cool. I'll take it. We're trying to stay, keep the Celtics in range and at bay. But at the end of the day, is it the same? Did I get the same feeling I got when Kobe won his last one? Absolutely not. It was during a COVID season. There was barely anybody there. There was no fans. This is not basketball the way we know it. It's just not. And he took advantage of a situation, which, if you watch LeBron James, he takes advantage of every situation. That's his superpower. He sees a hole, pause, no diddy, and an opening, and he takes advantage of it. All over and over and over again. He sees Anthony Davis isn't happy on the Pelicans, knows that they have the same agent, starts whispering in his ear, you should tell them you don't want to be there no more and come over here. Takes advantage of it. Goes back to the Cavs to win a chip. He went back to the Cavs to bring a chip to a city that hadn't had one in a long time, and he wanted to go home. I think he also just wanted to win a chip without, the heat. He didn't want people saying, oh, it's just because of Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. I also think Wade was having some problems with his knees, and, he just bounced on him. He betrayed him, just left him. But again, he was out there trying to get the chip. He made them trade the first pick in Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love. He traded away his potential Scottie Pippen right there. He went back because he saw Kyrie Irving was there balling. If Kyrie wasn't there, he ain't going back to Cleveland. You kidding me? So don't fall for this stuff, man. Please don't fall for this stuff. He cares about rings. He's just trying to change the narrative because he's 4-6 in the finals. And every Laker great had one. So he knew that going into it, if he didn't do it, we were going to burn him up. And still, a lot of us are like, that wasn't that special. You still ain't nowhere in the pantheon of our great players. I would rather throw a party for Byron Scott, James Worthy, Michael Cooper, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, and Robert Horry than throw a party for LeBron James in Lakerland. Me personally. So, Stephen A. Smith, I think he hit a lot of things on, right on the head. It's LeBron's just talking out of his behind, making excuses because he knows that it's coming to the end, and he probably thought that some of these accolades would put him over the top, but with the advent of social media and YouTube creators like myself, we're turning the tables on these stupid narratives. And people may say, oh, you're hating or you don't like him or whatever. He's not my favorite person. I'm not in love with him at all. Pause, but I'm just not. He annoys me a lot. I don't hate him, though. I don't wish bad on him or wish bad on his family. I don't want bad things to happen to him. I don't wake up like, oh, bad things. No. But when he comes out and he says stuff like this, this is why he gets on my nerves, and somebody has to call him out on this. You play that. Your job as a basketball player is to play the game, not write the narratives. Now, if you want to say your truth and stuff like that, you can do that. But writing all these narratives is not your job as a basketball player. It's our job as the fans, and I guess some parts of the media. And it's up to the fans to decide who in the media is honest and telling the truth about this stuff. So, that's how I look at it. I'm not letting LeBron get away with this. Obviously, Stephen A. Smith is not letting LeBron get away with this. Even Brian Windhorst, I didn't play his part here, but there's another video I have where it goes into a little bit like really why you can't be a fan of Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and LeBron at the same time. They're just diametrically opposed viewpoints on what sports are or is, right? So we'll leave that here for now. What do you think about Stephen A. Smith? Do you think he was right on or do you think he was off? I think he was right on this one. And believe me, I don't trust Stephen A. Smith, but when he's right, he's right. And when he's wrong, he's very wrong. All right? So thank you very much for listening this long. I truly appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Make sure that you comment so we can have conversations. I will definitely reply. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Not one thing, not one bit. And lastly, hold on at the end of this video for some suggested videos that we know you will love. Thank you very much. Very appreciative, very humble. Much love.
You're gone, and tell that somehow you'll never get over leaving me. And when you feel like coming